Today we're going to talk about these 5 things that create success for any body, for any person, for any organization, for any business. So we're answering the question here, what do they have that I don't have? I can promise you it's one of these things on the list, and they cost nothing, absolutely nothing for you to attain these things. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So let's get started on this list. The first thing that I'm talking the most successful companies out there that you see out in Facebook land, people like Ishmael, people like Tommy Mello, all these people that you guys might look up to because they have achieved this level of success. I'm going to show you what it is that they have that I can promise you they have that you may be lacking, but you can improve with intention, with focus, with effort. So the first thing is clarity. You got to know what it is that you want and why you want it. Got to have a vision. I've talked about this on several different videos. Without a vision and hope for a better tomorrow, there's that old saying that says, without hope, the people perish. This, like if you're a business, if you don't have this burning desire to like do better, and you're not clear about what better is, then you lack clarity. If you don't have something that you could share with somebody, like here's where I'm going, and I have no idea how I'm going to get there. I can promise you all the people who are wildly successful in the heating and air conditioning business, they didn't know how they were going to get there. But they had clarity about what they wanted. They had a vision. And they eventually became very good at communicating that vision to other people. That got other people excited, that made them want to join their business as well. So you got to get clear about what you want. You got to get clear about what that looks like. Whether it's, a fleet of 20 vehicles, 10 service technicians, 8 installers, 10,000 square foot building, like just start to give yourself permission to dream about what it is you really want. And it's okay if you don't want that. It's okay if you just want a one-man shop and you want to be wildly profitable and successful. It's okay if you want a 4-man shop. It's whatever you want. It's your dream. Like, don't let society, don't let what other people are doing dictate what you want. That's a decision for you to make. The next thing that these people have that have achieved these upper levels of success, and look, I'm successful. I don't put myself into those categories, but I'm very successful for what I wanted in life and what I have in life and where I'm going and my current vision in life. So I don't let the outside forces or the society tell me what success is. And it helps me keep my sanity, but it also makes life very fulfilling. So you got to have to determine what it is that you want in your life and why you want that. The next thing that all people who have achieved success have is connection. And I'm not talking about to people, although that can help and can maybe help you gain some speed for sure in growing your business by attaining the different information that you need and implementing the strategies. Like, don't try to go out there and just figure this out on your own. It's a disaster. And if you're just using podcasts and YouTube videos like these to try to do that, it's going to take you 3 times as long to get where you want to go. All the while, you're working your tail off, which, eventually creates burnout. And it creates exhaustion. And you go at such a slow pace, it can create depression. So the connection that I'm talking about is not necessarily with people. I'm talking about your vision. You got to get connected to that thing. You got to know where you're going, why you're going it, and how you're going to feel when you get there. And you connect to that. And if you need to connect to it on a daily basis, if that's the only way to keep the fire stoked and your desire stoked to go out and execute, then do that. All of these, if you don't have these, by the way, can all be developed. The next thing that the most successful heating and air companies out there have, the people who run those companies, is they have courage. They have courage to put themselves on video. They have courage to try new things. They have courage to invest money in their company without knowing what the outcome is going to be, or if it's actually going to pay off. They have courage to do stuff. They also have courage to cut off, to decide, right? Decidere, the Latin word, the origin of decide came from decidere, which means to cut off, to determine, to choose, to make a decision, which means the courage part of it comes in because we're going to have to decide like who to hire and who to fire. Who's going to be on our team and who isn't. The courage to raise our standards and to hold people accountable to those standards. The courage to take risks. To borrow money if you need to borrow money to get the education that you need, or to hire the next person, or to buy the next vehicle, or to buy that shop that you want. Like, it takes courage. It takes courage to learn sales and to have sales conversations with people. The most successful people that you look up to have these things. They virtually cost nothing to acquire. So if you don't have them, if you're not willing to have a difficult conversation with somebody on your team, or with your spouse, or with your manager, or with your business partner, then that's probably why you're not seeing the level of success that you would like to see. The next thing that they have, and once again, this is not something they were born with, capacity. This is something that was developed over time. They have the capacity to juggle more things on their plate. They have the capacity to have multiple things going on at the same time and not get all stressed out about it. Even if they are carrying a little bit of stress. A little bit of stress is good. No pressure, no diamonds. You need stress. Scientifically, like, you need stress. No stress is going to stifle everything in your life. You need a little bit of stress. It's actually healthy. You just don't want it to be overwhelming stress. And there's ways, as people increase their capacity, to maintain their stress levels to a certain level so it doesn't get out of control, so it doesn't begin affecting their health. And you learn that as you go. And you learn that by having mentors teach you these things. Another thing with courage, before I go on, is the courage to say no. Taking on jobs that you're not a genius at, for instance, just because you're trying to put calls on the calendar. The courage to say no to competing interests, meaning there's all kinds of things like vying for your attention. And if you're not willing to say no to those so that you can go, get in there and learn something, or that you're not willing to say no to all these expenses that you spend that leave the business broke, or if you're not willing to say no to taking what you probably deserve as a salary, if you can't say no to that, because if you do that early in the game, you're just robbing the business of the money that it needs to grow. It takes courage to do that. So clarity, connection, courage, capacity. The last one here is, you may have guessed it, probably be on the list, is commitment. They have committed to growing their company. They have committed to taking risks. They're committed to achieving their vision. And if you don't commit to those things, like, why do you think the odds of you actually achieving your dreams and your vision decrease if you're not willing to commit to them. Commitment, a lot of times people don't like commitment because it means accountability. Like if I actually say that I'm going to do something, well, then somebody might hold me accountable. You got to get over that. You got to use that accountability as that extra pressure. I think more now than ever, and this is going to sound crazy, but I think more pressure needs to be applied. Some of the things that you call pressure aren't really pressure at all. Like you need to put yourself out on a limb. Go do some stuff. Take some risks. Commit to your dream and your goal and do whatever it takes to get there. So, get clear, get connected to that vision and that dream. Because when you're connected to it, you get excited about it and you want to share it with other people, which will attract other people to come work for you. And then have the courage. Have the courage to... There was times, guys, where I had no money and it was time for me to switch coaching companies. But I had a line of credit and I used my line of credit to sign up for the next coaching company. Because I knew, because I had learned enough in business that there's some predictability with your business. Knowing that, I was able to pay that off in a month and a half, and I knew I would be able to. Because I was getting smarter. I was making better, clearer decisions in my business. So you got to have the connection to your dream, and you got to have courage to take some big steps, some bold moves. If you don't have that, then stop even talking about or thinking about becoming somebody that you're just not willing to become. You got to be willing to have this stuff if you want to become that person. Increase your capacity. Back to the pressure thing. Like maybe you need to add some more pressure on yourself. So you'll step up and do what's required. If what you want, and you're very clear about what you want, if it's big enough that it gets you excited but also scares you a little bit, then you might actually start to take steps towards it. And you don't have to know exactly how it's going to happen. All you need to know is what the first step would be. And that first step can be as small as you want. It can be like, well, maybe I'd go research that stuff and find out how much it costs or what it looks like, or what, maybe post on Facebook and ask some other business owners, right? So that's a step. It's still a step in the right direction. But if you're even scared and you want to post anonymously because somebody may judge you, then your dream's not big enough. Your dream's not big enough, because when you make all this outside noise bigger than your dream, the outside noise always wins. The judgments, the thoughts, those will always win. If those are bigger, you make those bigger than your dream and your vision. So that's one of the key things I'll share with you. Like, you got to explode that thing. Make it so big that you're just willing to walk through fire to attain it. And then get committed. Get committed to it. And I can tell you, when you get clear and you connect to your why, your big vision, then the commitment is a lot easier to make. But there are challenges. It is going to take courage, because you're going to have to say no to things that are also vying for your attention, vying for your money. You got to say no to those things. It's like entering into a tunnel. Block everything out, focus on what it is that you want, and start moving towards it. So, hope this helped. I can promise you, all these big guys who do great things out in the world, they all have these things. Like I said, my amount of success, I have these. And I wasn't born with them. I didn't pop out of the womb like ready to tackle the world. It happened over time. But it was with intention, because that's who I wanted to become. I wanted to become a businessman. I wanted to become knowledgeable about business, and I wanted to be able to help other business owners, not just myself. which led me to write 4 books and write a children's book and create courses and do YouTube. Like, if you look back at my old YouTubes, they're horrible. Horrible. I had no idea what I was doing, and I couldn't speak in front of a camera. And I still struggle to speak in front of a camera, but I don't let that stop me. So you can't let the other things stop you. You can't let yourself, like, thinking of yourself more than you're thinking about the person out there. So when I make these videos, I'm thinking about you guys. I'm thinking about, I got to get through to these guys. I got to help these guys. I feel like it's my duty because I went through this. So when you have clarity and connection and you're connected to that duty, you literally take it as that. It's like you have an obligation here to step up in life, to do more, to be better, to become more. So I hope you'll take this seriously. The Moment Breakthrough Experience. So I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can register for that for free. It's happening this Friday. Starts at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to take you through this. Like, you're going to come out of that event with more clarity, with more connection, with more courage. I'm probably going to help increase your capacity during this event, and you'll definitely be committed to achieving your dreams and your goals. We're going to help you make 2026 the best year that you've ever had. So I hope to see you there. Go make money. Boom.